Dr. Raymond Cartwright, Tamika Henry, and Dr. ALOZIE as well. Now, walking into the McCall Neighborhood Center, it brought tears to my eyes. I'll be honest with you. Never I knew about the impact that was made here by African Americans. And speaking about impact, now we're going to discuss some topics to the panel that they would like to talk about. And Tamika, I'm going to start with you. I believe that every race has heard something about this, but what bothers you most about microaggressions?
I think what bothers me the most is the assumptions that people make of me because I'm black, or comments that are made to me. For example, people have made comments of how well I speak, or make comments about what my hair looks like, or just comments to make me feel very uncomfortable with being in my own skin.
I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes, I get the same thing about the clothing that I wear. There's some microaggressions that you gentlemen want to share as well that you've heard about?
I mean, it always makes me laugh, right, when the person says, hey, you're really eloquent for a black guy. And I'm like, I'm the most eloquent person in this building, probably. So I think those are one of those things where you just laugh. And I think one of the things about microaggressions, though, we do have to be careful with is that intent is important. Right, and so in as much as people may have some ignorance around certain things, or they haven't been exposed because of their life experience, intent matters. And so help the person learn, help them understand, help them get to a place where they're better for the next person. Right, and I think that's really critically important as well.
And Dr. ALOZIE, I'm going to add this on there too. It matters how they say it too. If they're trying to be rude about it, we have to clap back. No, I'm just playing. Don't do that at all, people out there. Do what Dr. ALOZIE said and be very nice about it. I want to ask you, Mr. Cartwright, I know that you probably heard just several things in your time being here.
My biggest problem is trying to not be too sensitive because of my background. As you know, I grew up as a black boy in Alabama in the 1940s. So you can imagine the types of experiences we had back then. So I try to see things as they are rather than what I'd like for them to be, but I still don't want to get too over-aggressive about it and assume every little slight is, racially motivated.
And to be honest, too, when people are throwing out these microaggressions, for the most part, I don't think that they're really thinking about it. I think it's just something that's in their head. They're just speaking out about it. And it could be about anything. It just doesn't have to be African Americans. It could be Hispanic people. It could be gay people. It could be just anybody, to be honest. But I do appreciate the panel speaking about that. Now, coming up next, I've been looking forward to this. Mr. Cartwright is going to be speaking about his experiences coming up. But I also want to talk about what's going on for 2020, for what was going on and for basically what shook the world last year when 46-year-old George Floyd was handcuffed to the ground, and then the officer put his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds until he died. And there's countless names out there. Breonna Taylor, she was just asleep in her home when officers broke through her door and shot her 8 times. Just really think about that, 8 times. And then Bolton Jean, he was shot by an officer after she entered the wrong apartment. I remember being in Louisiana with Alton Sterling. He was selling CDs in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. When these incidents happen, I just want to ask the full panel about this. When other races come out to you, how do you want them to approach you about the situation without them being disrespectful about it? And Tamika, I'll start with you.
I think really just recognizing and acknowledging the situation for what it is, for what we can see. And I think, individuals from other races or other backgrounds, when they come to me and ask me, what is my opinion about the situation, I appreciate that because they're trying to learn, they're trying to understand. And you learn so much when you speak to someone on an issue that they might be experiencing as well. So I think just, trying to make that connection, trying to understand, and think about ways that we can move forward and do better as a community.
I like how that sounds. I'm going to ask you the same thing, Dr. ALOZIE and Mr. Cartwright. How do you feel? How should people approach you when these events happen? Because unfortunately, all four of us know that it's going to happen again.
I want the other races to be honest and not try to give me an answer, well, oh, that doesn't exist anymore. You are tied up in the past, or that's in the old days. We all know that all of us have some bias, and even we blacks have a bias. So I hate for someone to tell me I don't have a prejudiced bone in my body. And when I hear those words, that's like a dog whistle, and it's letting me know I better be careful with that particular person.
Dr. ALOZIE?
Yeah, I think it's all about representation. Right, I said it in the beginning, you can't have a conversation about us without us, and that's whether you're Hispanic, African American, Asian, LGBTQ, whatever the case may be, and I think that's the important thing. And so wherever you are in an educational setting, a corporate setting, in a community setting, it's critically important that you have a seat at the table. And so the organizations that pay lip service to it and only think about it in February, those aren't the organizations that you need to be engaged in. I mean, I think it's great that we're having this conversation, but don't remember me only in February. Remember me in June. Remember me in November. Remember us across the course of the year and everybody else that needs to have a seat at the table. And I think that's the key, right? If we can get to a point where we're consistently having this dialogue, and the dialogue is honest, transparent, and open, then I think we'll move forward. But again, we understand that the world is what the world is. It's not fair, and we have to keep on striving to make it better for not just ourselves, but our children and the generations to come.
I completely agree with you, because I believe just education is important. Before you have one of these conversations with a black person, African American person, just educate yourself before you actually start that dialogue, because it really helps out in terms of us having that conversation with you if somebody is prepared to have it. Well, thank you guys so much. Now, in our next